The views expressed on the Convo Lounge do not reflect the views of our current employers or our future employers.
All right, y'all, welcome to another episode of the Convo Lounge with your hosts, Amir Anthony, Char Rochelle, and Antonio Crow, rocking the black and gold, Selfish Society. Baseball season is in full effect. Go Dodgers. You know,
shout out to the Alphas for the black and gold.
Shout out to the Steelers.
Shout out to the champion Dodgers. Shout out to Mookie Betts. Jackie Robinson Day was a few days ago, so we tip our hat to our pioneer, our hero, Mr. Jackie Robinson, also is a Pasadena, California native. So, you know.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Right. All right, let's open it up. Char, you got the question of the day. Hit us with it.
So the question of the day.
All right.
All right, guys. Keep an open mind with this, all right?
Okay.
All right. So you meet a potential partner who checks off all of your boxes, whatever your boxes are. She's bad, educated, great credit, makes you feel like a king, all the things that's on your list. I don't know what's on your list. I'm just like being general.
Right.
But sex with her is mediocre or whack. And then vice versa, ladies. He's tall, he's chocolate, he's all the things, he's employed, he treats you like a queen, but it's mediocre sex in the bedroom. Do you stay with that person or cut them off? Cricket.
Oh, okay. Damn. And she meets all the qualifications, right?
She's your ideal woman.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But
especially in the pandemic, like, are we just talking in general? Like,
yeah, I mean, look, we're all at the age of maturity where partnership is the goal for some of us. So, like, not just the pandemic, just like
in
life,
general.
like Dag, she needs everything.
I have to have my sexual, like, so we got to be equally yoked in certain areas. And I feel like if there's a deficiency in the sex life, that can be a challenge. And I don't know how Antonio feels about this, but I don't know if you need to like coach or what the case may be. All right, I can tell you this. No, hell no, I couldn't do it. Nope, couldn't do it. It will be a challenge. But
mediocre leaves room for improvement or coaching or conversation.
She would have to be open to my suggestions and the coaching aspect of it. Like, we would have to have some deep conversations like, hey, we may have to put on like a little dirty movie or something to kind of like help you out a little bit. Like, yo, this is how you do it. Like, I need you to kind of step it up in this area. And then, because if she's meaning all the other areas, that means that she's also open to like listening and talking and being open with dialogue. Because like you're basing it off of the qualifications on my list, which that would meet that criteria. So she has to be open to that. So it's like, I think there's room for opportunity. And if it's mediocre, that means that it's like one step closer to like achieving that goal of like, yeah, I'm satisfied and I don't have to take my frustration out somewhere. Because, you know, men, if we're not being satisfied in that area, we take our frustration other places. So yeah, we need that sexual healing, like my brother Marvin Gaye said.
It's something that's good for me.
Antonio, I'm passing the baton to you, bro.
Ooh, so mediocre and trash. That means that there is a challenge in the bedroom, perhaps. Usually, in my experience, women that meet all the qualifications for the most part are kind of stubborn because they did that. I did that. So they might not be so willing to take the suggestions. And if that's the case and they're not open during our challenges, then I'm going to have to let that one go. You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes women look to men to be the robot. And men are more than just robots. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, but it's going to be a hard person. I mean, it's going to be hard to let them go, especially you know, because I'm all about chemistry. So if we have that chemistry, but yet the sex is trash, you know, because it's hard to find chemistry. It's easy to find sex. You know what I'm saying? So
that's so true.
Right. So, but it's gonna be hard for me because I'm really rooted in chemistry. And if you have chemistry, then you have, you know, good sex. You have a good mate. You have, you know what I'm saying, you can overcome some things. But if she's stubborn and has an attitude, it's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what she got. Her attitude is effed up, and we having mediocre trash, it's a wrap. Mediocre trash. We having mediocre and trash sex, it's a wrap.
Right. No, but that's what I'm saying though. It's like if she's meeting all the qualifications that you want, then she should be open to achieve that mediocrity that she's bringing to the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't care who you are. Nobody wants basic sex. You know, there's plenty of shops.
I like to have a hero. Like, she gotta be a shero. Like, I don't want to have to teach her nothing. Like, I don't take credit in having taught you anything. Especially we grown, even as a youngster. I don't want to take credit in that. You know,
wow.
learn that, and do that. You know what I'm saying? And do what you think. You know, you express yourself to me. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. I don't want to teach you.
The thing is too is like we're adults, so it's like whatever is like not clicking, like I need you to step it up from an adult standpoint. Like, come on now, like.
But to your point, we all have different experiences as adults. Right. So yeah, like you might not want to teach your partner. However, your partner's new to you, right? So like everybody's different. Everybody is different. So there might be some coaching that has to be given in order for your partner to please you. Because like, I know for me, what may have worked for the dude's last chick, I would probably be turned off or disgusted by it. So I'm open to the conversation, but it would be a disappointment if we weren't compatible in that area, because sexual compatibility is something that's on my list. So I would rather get to a point where we have amazing times and it not be mediocre, but I wouldn't just cut them off right away. Like I would work with them because, hey, at the end of the day, a good man is hard to find. And like you said, Antonio, like chemistry is also hard. Like chemistry and connection, I don't find that very often. So once I find somebody who I actually click with, I would just work with him and just pray that he can pull it together.
All right, so I have a point. My bad. Big J always references this exact question when he has a bad sexual encounter with his mate. And he wants a rerun for the slide in because he didn't prove himself. So he's like, hey, can I get another slide in? Can I get it? And usually the ladies are like, what? What is you talking about? He was like, yeah, well, this happened. It didn't go well. So I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? I just want to do it one more. Let's try it one more time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I'm not to like,
go ahead.
Just to be transparent, like I've had a partner who wasn't great the first go round. But then, like, after coaching and, like, telling him, like, maybe you should try this. The thing that I appreciated the most about him was he was open and he listened and he wanted to please. So he was able to course correct and get the job done.
Yeah, okay. I think,
all right.
I think sex with love.
I'm gonna read between the lines.
I mean, yeah. Sex and love. I think sex and love should ultimately be parallel. You know what I'm saying? So when you have love, then you have a little more compassion, a little more patience. Not saying that we should ever be willing to go without, right? Not saying that we should be willing to go without, but patience and compassion and I think patience is a big thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, I mean, at this age, you know, you get a woman to say, oh, well, I haven't had that many partners. But, you know, guy talk, when a woman says she only had like one or two partners, you got to time that times two, something like that. Because they be coming in with the but I haven't had that many partners. But
yeah, because if I didn't feel it, it didn't count.
Nobody never knows.
That's why
you can like delete partners based on experiences. Like, oh, I didn't feel it, that one doesn't count, or I didn't like him, so that one doesn't count. So you just start like redacting partners off of your list.
Oh, see, exactly. The body, yeah, exactly. That body.
Oh wow, that's funny. That's common.
I'm so glad you said that. See, that proves the point.
Right on. So okay. We gotta bring this one up because Shar, you've been like really heavily on sending these things to us over the last few days in regard to online dating. And we've all had our shared experiences, but not just online dating, but just dating in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you like kind of go more into details about this because I know this is like your baby, like, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So anyone who knows me knows that I do not like online dating. Like, I absolutely loathe it. However, because of COVID, the pandemic, and the dudes that I've met with my mask on, I'm like, all right, let me open up my dating pool, because I am ready to date. Like, I'm ready for a relationship. So I went online, joined Hinge, and the profiles that I would see, the guys that I would connect with, it was just like, I don't want to call it trash, but it was trash. It's been an interesting experience, to say the least. So like from time to time, for the listeners and the viewers, I will send dudes' profiles to my friends, and then like, dang, this is going to sound so mean, but I'd laugh at them. But it's just like, just to show like, this is what's out here. Am I tripping for seeing these types of things? So yeah, that's where the show topic came about. It's just different dating experiences. However, the one that I want to talk about today, I actually met him organically, but the date was still trash.
Oh my, that's even. Oh wow,
that's
double. Yeah, that's all that. Well, okay, I'm gonna navigate for me on the online dating and more focus on dating in general, or like personal stories. And I know I sent you all the baller alert thing. But I can go back for like some of the dates that I went on, and there's one in particular that resonated with me from the baller alert drop on Instagram. I actually had a date where, and actually Antonio, we was out and about. We was at the GS when we used to go up there all the time for Monday Night Football.
Oh yeah.
And actually, one of the ladies worked there. And we started hanging out real tight. And one of the nights that we went out, we was rolling around in her car, and the cops pulled us over. So I'm like, oh snap! Like, man, you good, baby? Like, hey, you know. So license registration come out, and then next thing you know, he's like, step out the car, and he's like, hey man, how long you been knowing her? I'm like, oh, you know, we just met. She has a felony for her arrest, man. We're gonna have to take her in. I'm like, wait,
you never told me this story.
She had warrants. She had warrants, yo. She never went to court for like some unpaid ticket, and they grabbed her up. I had to call the homie JJ. Shout out to my boy JJ, who was with her cousin that night because we was all hanging out. I think you remember this, Antonio, and then they took her. Fine sister too. They took her. I felt bad. I was like, yo, how come you did? She's like, I didn't even know I had unpaid tickets. I'm like, dang. Took her, and that was a wrap. I was like, delete. I'm good. I don't play with mess. I'm cool. City girls, y'all. This was before City Girls even existed.
This is the prequel too.
Right. So yeah, that was one of my dating situations. I remember it was just kind of like a personal thing, like where I never really like shared it out. But yeah, that was crazy. Mm-hmm. And we have been hanging out like tough. That was like we happened, and she told us to pull up because she was working that night. You know, get some extra wings and get the extra love. And yeah, dang, it was all bad. We got arrested. She got arrested right around the corner from the In-N-Out Burger by LAX.
Dang.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like hot over there. There's already police presence already over there by the airport. Snatched her up. They ran her plates, and it was all bad.
Did you guys talk after?
She hit me up. She actually hit me up, and we were talking about it. She had got back. You know, she did whatever she needed to do to get out, and I was just like, "Yeah, let me hit you back." Never hit her back. I said, Jay, I told the homie Jay, I was like, yo, man, you know, and her cousin was like, yeah, she, you know, I don't know if I was you, I would, you know, it's up to you, but, you know, trying to resonate. I'm like, nah, I'm cool. Like, I can't mess with that stuff. I'm good. So, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, online dating, though, I think it's preference. You know, I don't see anything wrong with it, but I do get a kick out of your stories that you share, though, Frank.
Yeah. I've met a lot of guys. You know what's interesting about online dating right now, outside of like the guys who are trash, there's a lot of guys who are our age who are agnostic or atheists, which I didn't know that there was a whole bunch of folks that were just like that identified as complete non-believers. So that was interesting to me. Is like most of the guys that I'm like passing by is like they don't believe in anything. And I'm like, I get if you're searching for answers, if you're searching to seek whatever might be true, but just to believe like in nothing, I could not. We're not spiritually compatible. So I would not be able to do that.
I wonder sometime if online dating gives that opportunity for people to kind of just be their true selves. And then, you know what I'm saying? Because now you get to visually see, and then it's good though, because then you say, all right, cool, I'm going to swipe left or swipe right based off of what the profile states. It's kind of like when you're an employer and you're sifting through resumes.
Yeah.
Whoop, like boom, you know what I'm saying? I already know how you get down, friend. That ain't about to go down.
Yeah. I've kept an open mind with height. Because y'all know I prefer guys who are 6 foot or better. But yeah, like I've kept an open mind. But then most recently, this dude liked my picture. He's 5'3".
Wait a minute.
What do I do with you? Put you in my pocket? Put you in my purse?
He want a tall drink of water.
Time out. Hold on. Time out. I'm not the tallest dude in the world, y'all. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm 5'8", but 5'3"?
5'3".
Yeah. Damn.
5'3". I said, if
you would have been like
somewhere, like no.
Y'all would have been on a date looking like Kermit the Frog and Miss Piggy out there, like straight up.
I would have been looking like I'm hanging out. I feel like my 9-year-old nephew is taller.
Yeah, 5'3". That's like I can find an 8th grader right now, like locally, that's like taller than that. Straight up.
Yeah.
5'3".
What if he a millionaire? What if he got a lot of money?
I make my own money. I'm going to be a millionaire. I don't need somebody's money.
That's right.
That doesn't entice me at all.
That's wild. 5'3". I wonder if that's the reason why that person would be on a site like that, because that's a challenge. Like if you're 5'3" as a man, this is like the cherry of the subject, but I got to put it out there. If you're 5'3" as a man, what is the likelihood that you're going to find a woman who's compatible, like height wise? Because at that point, you're basically looking for like a midget.
Yeah.
No offense to people out there with height deficiency, but I'm just saying, like, if you're 5'3", think about that. Like, there's plenty of, like, the average height of a woman is about 5'4"-ish, 5'3", 5'4", maybe 5'5", right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is something that, our brother Kevin Samuels always hits women with, like, how tall are you? How much do you weigh? So I'm just curious to know how a 5'3" brother, like, how does that even work? If you're out and about and you're at, like, a spot grabbing a drink, like, the bar is probably like just
oh shoot.
Like, hey, let me order a drink, and you're probably like, like on some like tattoo from Fantasy Island, like the drink. Yeah, that's wild. I'm sorry, I had to get it.
To your point, Amir and Shar, 5'4" as of 2016 is the average height of American women. How tall are you, Shar?
I'm 5'8".
So yeah. That's like,
that
wow.
sucks. So my man is like low key to a woman. That's a challenge right there. Like,
yeah.
That's all.
And I like to wear heels. So that's the other thing. Like, I just started wearing flats because of my job. But if I'm not at work, and this is pre-Pandy, of course, I was always in heels. Like, I was that girl. So yes, I've dated guys my height, but I want to look up. I want to aspire to greater views up near the sky. So, yeah.
Yeah, I have a height prerequisite myself.
What's yours? I've never heard a man say that. What's yours?
Well, because I like my women to look up to me, so they have to be shorter than me. I'm like 5'10", 5'9", 5'10".
Okay.
5'10". So I like them 5'5", 5'3", 5'4", 5'5", 5'6", 5'7".
5'5" with brown eyes.
I had some 5'8"ers, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's legit. I think for me, between shout out to 5'3" again. I would say between that and I would say between that and maybe 5'6". You know what I'm saying? Because at least if she wear heels, there's probably there's no Kevin Hart and the Nico Hart situation with me. But
why would I want to tower and hover over my man?
Yeah, but it's not. But
right.
I have dated women who are around my height, or I've even had taller. You know what I'm saying? But I think that it's also the confidence in the man as well too. You feel me?
For sure.
And
yeah.
I think when you have a height deficiency, it's kind of a challenge to be confident, right? So it's like, even when you're shorter as a man, or even just short in general as a man or a woman, you really want to make sure that your physique is on point, right?
Yeah.
And I think that that's key, especially in the pandemic. And I was actually talking to a friend about this. We have a mutual friend who's around, probably a little shorter than me, but your weight, right? And it's like, that's real talk. Like, I think if you can be, depending on what height you are, I think if your physique matches your height, it kind of evens it out. But it's like when you're shorter, it's even more of a challenge, because it's like it can be all bad.
It's like proportion. Yeah. I feel the same way about feet too. I like little feet.
Okay. Little feet. I
mean, proportionate to your body. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a leg person. I think when a woman has beautiful legs and just toned, like athletic, keeps themselves in nice fit, I think that's bomb, especially being in Cali, you know what I'm saying? Weather guaranteed 75, degrees all day. Shout out to the Cali weather, because we're feeling it real good out here today. You feel me?
I'm not. I'm sad.
Yeah. Hey, I'll bring some of the Cali sunshine to you, friend. But what's that?
What's your weather like, Char?
So we're springing, but spring ain't really sprung. It was like low 50s. I think the high today will be 62.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. We got 72 on Tuesday though. So I'm looking forward to that.
Man.
Good 72-degree weather. But so what about you, Antonio? Any interesting dating stories over there?
Man, well, I think I had one date. I went on a date back in the day, went to the drive-in. I was in my Maxima, you know what I'm saying? Had me a little date. And I spilled lemonade on her, bro. And I was like, well, let's leave. She was like, no, let's stay. So I went back to to where you buy the concession, and I got like a whole bunch of napkins and everything. I'm like, let's go. She had on white pants. And I felt so bad. Like, you idiot, you fucking idiot. And lemonade was my favorite. You know what I'm saying? But my second one, though, I met this chick at a club. So I don't really do too much online dating. But I will say MySpace was off the chain. I don't know if y'all remember MySpace.
Oh, yeah.
I think that was like a true, that one in Black Planet. But I think MySpace, I had it cracking. I'm going to be honest with that. But I met this lady at a club, Golden Tail or something. And so, I got a number, whatever. So we went out, and I was like, so what do you want to do? She was like, well, I want to go see the Star Trek movie, right? Sister, right? I want to see the Star Trek movie. I'm like, okay, I ain't tripping off that. I haven't ever seen a Star Trek movie in the theater, right?
Did you ever watch
it
the
on
TV show?
but not at.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm saying on TV show, but I never seen it in the theater. So
right.
I go to pick her up. She live in West LA. I go to pick her up, and she comes out in this fluorescent green mini skirt and a thing like this off the shoulders with the lapel, and she had the Star Trek pins on it.
Oh,
and I was like, yo, like where we going?
Where do you find a Star Trek lapel?
I don't know. Especially this is in the 90s. This was in the 90s,
right.
So she had Hollywood or somewhere, right? So she had it was all hooked up, the little lapel pins. She had the shoulders off, Tigo's banging, you know what I'm saying? Little mini skirt, but it was fluorescent green. And so she's like, well, I'll drive. So I'm like, okay. She comes out with like this 60-something Camaro, like a fast whip, like a muscle car, bro. I was like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying?
She's driving the throwback Batmobile.
Right. It was a stick shift, bro. And we had to get gas. So we had to go and get gas. And I think she used to live off of Pico or something like that. So I'm like, I'm getting out the car to pump the gas. And she was like, oh, you're so nice. I'm like, yeah, I'll pump the gas for you. And I'm sitting there like, bro, I should just leave. I don't know how this is going to go. I don't know how this is going to go at all. I'm pumping the gas, thinking, like, man, like Star Trek, like she a Trekkie. She a Trekkie. I'm not a Trekkie. No offense to the Trekkies, but you know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I'm in it.
We get to the movie theater. And it's like a whole bunch of Trekkies out there. I felt so out of place. But I'm over here with lime green, fluorescent green and shit. Like,
I hope that she's now asked, like, hey, do you like Star Trek? Are you a Trekkie going forward? So that the next time she invites a dude on a date, he's just as into it as she is. Because that's weird. If you're into some kind of like fetish or Comic-Con something, like make sure that you tell your partner that you like, make sure there's some kind of compatibility there so y'all can both go out like weirdos together.
I agree with that because I feel like going back to the online dating scene, you can actually see that in somebody's profile. Like that's what.
Yeah.
Because like for me, I like a woman who's open-minded. I'm a huge sports fan, so I always ask the question, "Hey, do you like sports?" 9 times out of 10, a woman's going to say, "Oh yeah, but I prefer it live." Even if you're not a sports fan, Shar, I know for you, you're not the biggest sports fan, but you would love to go to, live.
Yeah,
a woman doesn't like going to a live sport. It's live entertainment. You get to see people hoop. You get to, if it's football, whatever it is, like it's exciting. It's entertainment. But I'm into sci-fi, but I've never taken the time to like go there into like. I think for me, like that's like a universe I try not to tap into when people dress up and they got like the whole cosplay thing going. I feel like at that point, it's like, what are you doing with your life? You're an adult. Right. Like, I need you to like dial it back. Like, I'm cool with being a dog owner. Shout out to all the dog owners. I think that's dope. That's like a common thing. But it will be a challenge for me to date someone who's like into like going to Comic-Con and like we can talk about that stuff. Like I like sci-fi, but when you start dressing up as your favorite character, then it becomes like, hey, on the weekend, I'm joining my cosplay. We're about to play Dungeons and Dragons. Like, what's that?
Not even Halloween.
What's that?
It's not even Halloween. It's not even Halloween.
Yeah, that's a challenge for me. I'm cool. And then like when you see people from our community, like when you see Black folk doing it, I'm like, all right, I already know what you coming with. Like you probably didn't grow up in church.
Especially as a grown person, it's like, so are you still into that?
Right.
Huh?
That's what I wanted to say about what you mentioned earlier, Shar, about the agnostic. People that you're finding. I think a lot of people just didn't grow up in the church. A lot of people, their parents weren't into it, so therefore they don't fall into the belief of a higher power. You know what I'm saying? I think that is kind of what is corrupting the world as well, because people are less likely to embrace a higher power as opposed to just figuring out on their own. But 9 times out of 10, when we hit rock bottom, we do realize who God is at the end of the day. So
Oh, no
yeah.
doubt. Well,
that's my thing. Like, oh, go ahead, Amir.
No, go ahead, Sean.
No, I'm saying like even like with dating now, I don't expect my person to believe what I believe in, but believe in something. Like be spiritual, believe in like be Buddhist, be Muslim, be something. Like be something. I don't understand how someone could just like not believe in anything at all. Like I even understand agnostic to the point where it's like I can't confirm or deny that there's a higher power, but there might be something out there. But yeah, it's I actually met this fine dude online a couple years ago. And that was the one thing that I was like, I can't do this. He's an atheist, Black too, looks amazing, lives in my neighborhood. I just saw him the other day. He has a girlfriend. I'm like, damn. But I mean, I personally couldn't, I couldn't do it. He looks like a delicious ass snack too. But I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, he's
right on. I got one more funny dating story. This actually happened to me. I just want to throw this out here. I was on a date and I went, shout out to the Castaway. It's a bomb, like American style steaks, the whole nine.
On the hill.
Yeah, on the hill, the whole nine. And she wanted to go bad. So we go. And first of all, I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm young too. I'm like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is a fly restaurant. Hopefully I got enough ducats to like pay for this. So we chilling. I got my steak. She got her salmon, you know, we chilling, got the wine, you know, the whole nine, we kicking it. And then I'm like, dang, all right, I deposited this money. Hopefully it covers it. Here's where God happens, right? The waiter comes, and as he's picking up our plates, my date's glass of water spills on her plate and cracks the whole glass of her water. And it spills all over our table and on the plate. The waiter like freaks out. The manager comes and was like, hey, I'm so sorry. Thank you for dining with us today, but I'm going to comp the entire meal. I was like, yo, I just saved like 100 something, you know, and some change.
Yeah.
This weekend is about to be off the chain. Like now I can shift my energy and now I can pay for something else to add to the night. And the night was off the chain. And I don't even think she knew like the entire time that I was like shaking in my boots. Like, damn. I don't get like that denied card. I don't want no situation like that brother from Ready to Love where old girl
right.
Shout out to Ready to Love. And you know what I'm saying? So yo, that waiter did a clumsy move and I got the meal comp. Steak dinner, the whole nine. Yeah.
I don't think I've ever been out with a dude whose card declined, luckily, but I have went out with a dude who I met online, and I didn't realize that he was unemployed. He lied about having a job.
Oh yeah, and you can't do that.
Yeah, and I realized because I was like, how is it that he's always? It was strategic. It was like he always wanted to go to happy hour. It was never like, let's go to dinner. It was always like, meet me for happy hour, meet me for drinks after work.
Right.
And he would always be at the spot like right at 5. And I'm like, what time do you get off of work if you are able to meet at the spot at 5 and go home and change until like your non-work clothes? Right. So like that was the first flag. And then second, it was like, you never talk about your colleagues. You never talk about what kind of day you had at work. Like, it was just weird. So yeah, eventually I found out he didn't have a job.
Woo. That's wild. You know what? I've been there before, you know, during the 2008 when, you know, when there was a recession, I was unemployed, but you know what I'm saying? I kept like myself busy, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I kept it 100, like, hey, you know, a lot of people weren't working during that time, but I was in school though, working, you know, on my bachelor's degree. Yeah. So I think women appreciate when a man has something going for themselves, but if he's sitting there hiding behind and just going through the motions and it's apparent that you ain't about shit, then you gonna so yeah.
Women appreciate honesty, period. Like if he would have just been honest and been like, hey, I don't have a job or I lost my job, that's one thing. But he literally lied about having a job.
Yeah, that's not the business. I actually dated someone who actually was with me. Like we were like talking during the time I was unemployed, and she was like, "Hey, I can connect you to so and so. I know." Like that was dope. Like she was looking out because she seen that I was grinding, but she wanted to add and help. And I'm like, "Yo, that's what's up." Because I kept it cool. I kept it 100 with her. Like this is what's going on. But if you sitting there lying, then it's like, okay,
yeah,
bad stuff's gonna happen. God's not gonna comp you for your meals.
Nope. Nope. You want to come for your meals. Nope. But instead, that is a good story that I didn't even think to bring up. So we didn't even end because of that. Like we ended because some chick was calling my phone talking about that's my man. He drives my car, XYZ. And I was like, what are we doing?
The table.
What is happening? So he was just like a hell date, like all wrapped up in a bow.
Well, I'll tell you this. There's somebody out there for everybody. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Whether you're into Star Trek, whether you're into short or tall, if you're into sports or not, if you believe in this and believe in that, like there's someone, I think that's what makes online dating dope though. At least you can sift through like what your preference is. Like even when I was going on online dating sites, you would see people that will put like their political like preference and like what they're into. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing for me is like, I try not to bring politics into a relationship, but if we can see eye to eye on things, especially with everything going on today, I think that that's important for conversation. I can't be dating nobody that's on some other stuff. And understand, and that goes on with our community, any other community. Like if you're blind to what's going on, then I'm cool. Like that's just as important to me as what you believe in. If you believe in something, then I know where you stand, and I'm like, okay, we're not going to get along. Period. Like I'm cool. Like yeah, I'm good. That ain't happening.
Yeah. My last story, I had a dude who I think he was homeless. I wasn't able to confirm it, but I think he was homeless. But in his defense, I met him during COVID, during the Pandy, and I live very close to a waterfront. So I was going for a walk that day. And anyone who knows during COVID, I too looked homeless all the time because there was nothing to do or nowhere to go.
But we know you're not Frank.
Huh?
No, you're not Frank.
No, I was looking rough during the Pandy. Like I was homeless chic, sweats. I go outside any kind of way, like who shot John? So in his defense, like I understand why he approached me because he was probably like, oh,
you're like me.
Who is homeless?
We come from the same community. We see eye to eye.
Right.
No pun intended.
So like we hung out the following day. Well, what flagged it was he said that he was gonna barbecue. And so I'm like, okay, how are you gonna barbecue in the rain? But he did like this makeshift like barbecue with some Boy Scout type rigged barbecue thing that he did outside in public. So I'm like, okay, that's weird. Allegedly, he had just moved into town from Oakland and was staying with his friend until he bought a house. But didn't have like a real job. He was like a creative who did graphic design, fine, whatever have you. But yeah, essentially we hung out the next day and I walked into his car and he had a whole bunch of stuff in his car. And I was like, oh yeah, he definitely lives in his car. And I asked him, I was like, do you live in your car? And he was like, no, I don't live in my car. Like I'm staying with my homeboy, da 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 da. Oh, and wow. I'm like, nah, this car looks very lived in. It looks very lived in.
Oh, so, wow. Yeah,
that was the end of that.
Hey, struggles.
So I guess what I'm gathering here is that we've all had our fair share of run-ins, whether it was someone that had a warrant on their arrest, they had a height deficiency, they into Trekkies and cosplay, or they don't believe in, the Heavenly Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Holy Trinity.
Or something.
Are they living, in their vehicle from time to time and they go wherever they please. So most definitely this has been exciting. So we got to go into our segment, our famous segment.
Sound
So I'm going to take the lead real quick because there's been a lot going on and we're praying for our community. There's a lot of healing that still needs to go on in the Black community, but I'm going to shift the energy on some of the shows that I've been on lately. Shout out to them on Amazon Prime. Very interesting. I finished the last episode last night, and it definitely taps into the traumas that Black people go through. So it's definitely a change from the other shows that have been on out there that deal with, so like Lovecraft Country, that deals with trauma, but it also deals with, I'm going to fight back and take the power that you've taken away from me. Whereas with them, it's like, you're reliving traumas that still haunt us today. Very interesting show. But I have been enjoying other shows that are out there. And it's just interesting anytime you can see us in different lights. But it's a tough watch. I'm not going to lie. It's definitely a tough watch.
I've heard mixed reviews. Everyone is saying great things about it. However, I'm just not in a space where I need to be triggered whatsoever. So that being said, like I did start the first episode, but I probably won't finish it right now because I'm still just trying to like be in my Zen mode and tune out all the negativity. I understand it's art, but that's just, I can't do it right now. Everything has to be very light and airy for what I intake in this season of my life. So,
no, for sure.
Shout out to Lena Waithe, though.
Yeah, shout out to her for her creative genius, and also Issa Rae as she gets ready to wrap up season 5 of Insecure, her last season. But I just want to give one more shout out to Snowfall. Now that is my shit. You know what I'm saying? Now, big debate. You know, maybe we can talk about it next time, but people have been throwing out Snowfall is just generations of Wire, or Snowfall is better than Power. I'm like, they all serve different purposes. I think Snowfall, you get to relive an era that also has its own trauma for the Black and brown community. Yeah. And I think that, you know, rest in power to our brother, John Singleton. But the fact that he was able to create something so powerful and dynamic for us to relive, and it's telling the story of, you know, multiple different dealers during that era, during, you know, that time in South Central LA. But it's just good acting. It's dope acting. It's telling truth. It's telling you what went down. And I can't wait for the second season also of Forrest Whitaker playing Bumpy Johnson. That's also a dope show. I'm looking for that. So there's always
that Godfather of Harlem.
Yeah, Godfather of Harlem. That's a good one right there because it also goes into like what happened, you know, during that time. But yeah, shout out to Snowfall. Snowfall. That's must watch, must see TV for sure.
Nice. Do you have a sound off, Antonio?
I want to sound off all the high school football seniors this year. It seemed like the season started in March. Now it's about to be over. I see like these kids, you know, finishing their last senior year. So COVID's been a difficult year for high school sports. So I want to shout out all the kids, all the parents, because a lot of kids have been continuing their sports activity through like rec park leagues and 707s and stuff like that. And shout out to even the colleges that's still recruiting. You know, I know it's hard. You know, a lot of kids in urban and throughout the U.S. You know, their whole dream is to play collegiate sports, and they spend their whole lives getting prepared. And COVID kind of just wrecked it. So I just want to shout out all the football playing kids, all the parents, all the coaches around the world.
Nice.
My sound off.
I don't have a sound off this week.
Well, we can just
let's whine about it. Let's sound off your shirt.
Yeah. You always representing different brands, different things for the culture. So
yeah, okay. I'll shout out my friend. I'll shout out one of my friends who is a Black hairstylist. She actually colored my hair. She did a hair show competition. So I'm modeling for her. So shout out to Corinne Green of Cole Stevens Hair Salon right here in DC. Right. So if y'all are looking for a natural hairstylist who can give you some bomb safe color, hit my girl up.
That's what's up. Shout out to all the Black creators. Shout out to all the creators out there for your community, for your tribe. You know, we all have our own brands. Selfish Societies in the house. You feel me? Be Fly, you know, all day. Shout out to my boy Tyrone, you know, for his brand. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Tyrone.
Yeah.
We know you Black.
Right. Yeah, that's my guy right there. Well, before we close, we just want to let our listeners know that we're also working on some new content that's coming out soon, where we're going to tap into more of the community from what we've seen across, you know, the spectrum of previous episodes that have trended. You know, that seems to be a really great topic of interest and with everything that's currently going on right now in our community. So be on the lookout for that. But we wanted to just shift gears and have more of a fun show. You know, in light of what's going on, we are aware and we're praying for the communities where things are happening. And, you know, we're still in a pandemic and we're reliving all the things that took place last year. You know, we're praying for the family of George Floyd. We're praying for healing in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We're praying for the family of our brother, fallen brother. So we're praying for all of those things and what took place in Chicago recently with a young teenager. So it's just a reoccurring thing. And forgive me if I may have, you know, said the wrong names for some of the fallen, but it just goes to show this, we're tired and when it's just time for things to, you know, to be done and changed. And we can't have officers and those that are in our community mistaking, you know, things that can control a situation. We can't have, you know, certain devices, you know, mistaking certain devices to stop a situation. So we're just praying for those communities and what's going on. And we are aware and we just want to make that apparent. So, yeah.
And I just want to just echo those same sentiments of, yes, we are tired as a people, as a collective, but we can't become weary in making sure that we are fighting for our rights. So yes, it is definitely beneficial for us to slow down, but just us as a community, we got to keep the traction going and keep the civil unrest and injustice and our dissatisfaction with it at the forefront so that change is made, hopefully one day soon, hopefully in our lifetime.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And yeah, I got to say something too, because I'm Black. So,
hey,
policing. Right? Policing is an organization. The organization needs to do more coaching, more education as much as possible because policing is across the United States. So, you know what I'm saying? Like to whom much is given, much is required. They are responsible for some safety and I really expect more from police.
Yeah. There needs to be like some kind of psychological evaluation that goes into their recruitment process as well. But again, this is an organization that was built against our people and people of color. So it needs to be changed. They need to restructure their organization because this is whack.
You know, it is. And I truly believe one thing I just want to add to it is that we do understand that officers of the law do serve a purpose. But it goes back to what you guys are saying. The relationship with community and those that uphold the laws in the community have not been, it's been a strained relationship. And when it's being played out for the whole world, the whole country, for young children, for young people, for people going through certain things in their life to see these things played out, it just goes to show you the impact of mental health in this country and how much it affects people all across the spectrum. So I think another thing we need to really consider too is maybe we may need to add to the agenda to maybe reach out to people we know in our community and our network to maybe have them come on air with us and have those discussions, those tough discussions. So like I said, I'm looking forward to what is next and what we're going to be talking about on the Convo Lounge. But we just wanted to have fun and enjoy the things that, you know, bring light and joy. And we hope this episode does it. I'm going to close out and say that you can follow us at the Convo Lounge. You can also follow me personally at the Prosperous1, Prosperous_1. You can also follow us on our YouTube page, the Convo Lounge, and also you can also follow us. Am I missing anything? Yeah, Twitter as well at the Convo Lounge.
And Patreon. And make sure to like and subscribe our YouTube page. We need to trend on YouTube. preferably. Right. Make sure to comment. Make sure to engage with us. Make sure to slide into our Convo Lounge DMs and let us know what you want to hear more about. Comment on our show. Let us engage with you. We want to talk with you. We want to include you all in on the conversation as well.
No doubt.
Well, you can follow me on social, on Instagram at char.rochelle. I am taking a hiatus still, but I'll pop on from time to time. And at Char's Cookie Jar.
You can find me at Antonio Crow Clothing and the Convo Lounge.
All right, y'all. Mr. Serious over there. Self Society's in the house.
I'm in thought about this blackness, man.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Hey,
Antoine. I seen his mom and his dad on the interview, bro. Man.
Oh, man. Yeah. Like I said, we're gonna have to dive more into it. It's tough. It's tough for real.
It is.
We hope y'all enjoyed this episode. It was a fun episode, but once again, we haven't forgotten what's going on, and we'll continue to bring light to things that we see happening in our community. That's what this whole platform is all about. And look out for more things, but please follow us and listen to what we just brought out there with that whole important engagement opportunities that we do bring. But y'all stay blessed, be cool, wherever you are, wherever you're listening. Thank you for joining us at another episode of the Convo Lounge.
Love y'all.